Three female entrepreneurs turned besties share on life, business, and the journey through the mess. Join their community with every new episode for connection, education, a few laughs, and the hype energy like a bathroom full of drunk girls at a bar. It's okay.
We're your friends now!
Hey guys, it's Ashleigh.
Hey y'all, it's Biz.
Hey, it's Katie. Huzzah!
Just what the girlies were thinking.
Today's episode is called I Am Being Held Hostage in a 36-year-old Body That Operates Like an 85-year-old One. Yes. In other words, Katie fell down the stairs and is not in her right mind. So we are going for fun over deepness. Is that a word?
Depth,
yeah.
Thank you. That would be the
That's
one.
what friends are for.
Biz, give us a really, really quick recap, like really quick on New York, because you just got back from like such a cool trip.
I did. Thank you. I did. It was my bucket list item trip because it was with my daughter and I.
Yeah.
And she's 9, and that is the first time that I have ever taken her, just her and I, on something. And like, just to summarize the whole trip is really, we went to see Wicked at the Gershwin Theater. And really, because of my procrastination, we ended up with really good seats. And yeah, so we like rushed there and we're sitting there, and it like, I have this habit of not getting excited about things until they're happening. And so like I sit in there and she reaches over for my hand to hold it. Right as soon as the bah, bah, bah,
Oh
bah,
God,
bah, comes on, and I am like, oh my God. And I like realized that I'm sitting in the same theater, almost in the same spot that I sat in. What was it, like 18 years ago?
Oh.
And when and Wicked for me, because it came out in 2005, 20-year anniversary now. And I was a senior in high school when it came out. So like the pinnacle of my, Broadway musical theater, musical theater self. So the hoops that I had to jump through to get to see Wicked on Broadway my sophomore year of college when I was 19 was insane. And I remember that being like, y'all know how I am. Like, I'm so grateful to be alive. Like these moments, like, what a time to be alive. Like y'all see me all the time, like the littlest things or the biggest things. Like that's my first moment, like memory in my life of me through my own connections, like getting myself to that theater to experience that on my own. And then I got myself there and home. Across Times Square when I was in New York by myself, and the ticket was only one ticket, all these things. And I didn't realize like how much I like cherished that in my heart, like personally, until I was like really sitting there with Liv, and it like hit me that she's 9. And so like in half the time since, like perfect, like whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God, you came out of me, and like, you are enjoying this as much I am, right? And like the story is so good, and I'm like getting to experience like her experiencing the emotional bit, because like where we were sitting when Elphaba like flies up at the end of Act 1, I mean, it's like powerful. Ugh.
Yeah.
And it was just great. And then at the end of it, she wanted to take all the pictures with me, like the little picture we took in the
your outfits.
Thank you. Oh, really proud of myself for that, because I pre-ordered those on Amazon to have them shipped to our friend's house where we were staying, and little bracelets that were friendship bracelets that had magnets in them. And it was her idea to pose that way, like we were dancing with our bracelets together. And then at the end, we took pictures like the people on the posters, and her idea. And then we were able to get Fiero and Madame Mirabel to sign our thing.
Aww.
And then I made it home on New York public transportation on a
Woo!
Friday. Yeah, 22 blocks with my 9-year-old.
Yep.
Wow.
Alive.
It's an empowering
Fuck yeah.
feeling.
Fuck yeah. So like Friday night, if I can just like, that really does summarize the entire weekend. It was just her and I. We made fucking M&Ms with our faces on them.
So cool.
It was beautiful. I mean,
I
it was
think every mother-daughter needs to take a trip together to New York City.
oh
It's the
yeah.
best.
Yes. In fact, you could probably stay with my friend Nora. Highly recommend.
Pop her link or her contact information. Surprise, we made your house an Airbnb. Thanks.
Well, you know, actually, speaking of Nora, I have to say one thing. So she's from New Orleans originally. So she has that like New Orleans hospitality deep down. And she's such a pleasant anomaly in New York because like people don't talk to each other like in New York. Like, you're the weirdo if you compliment someone on the street, right? And but she literally tried to give me keys to her apartment on the way out, or her duplex on the way out of the door. So I would have them to be able to come back whenever. I mean, that's just who she is. So like she's incredible. I mean, we had an absolutely incredible time. And
that's fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah. Yay.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we are doing a rapid fire episode. 2 things, 2 topics. First one is a fun one to me because I like to recap this like in my life of just like a lot of people at the beginning of every year, they'll pick a word, and every year without fail, somebody is like, my word is no, because I need to learn to say no to things. And like, we've seen this time and time again that like you say no to things and it allows you to say yes to others. And I think that like once you learn that lesson, it's really good for you, but also sometimes it can be hard in the moment. So like I want us to talk about like what is something that you've said no to recently that ended up being like a very good decision.
I said no to a lot of people on the way to the airport Thursday. I was really proud of myself because I put an out of office message up.
Yeah, you did.
On my email, which I haven't done in a long time, but I don't have an out of office response on my texts. And so point for 1% better next time. But it made me like be very conscious and aware of the no's that I was saying. And so like whenever you say that question, like that's the only thing that's coming to my mind. And I am choosing to see those as the most important no's that I've said recently, because I don't know what it protected me from. And I know I had an amazing time with my kid, and there's no way that I could have done that and been looking at my phone. And I damn sure was not going to take my eyes off my 9-year-old in New York City when it's just her and I. So like that was also recommend New York City for any struggling workaholics out there, and because like there is no choice. So
I don't even know if it has to like protect you from something, but like you said no to that because you had a higher priority, and like you got rewarded by having that time with her.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling that out too, Katie, that the protection bit, because I think that there's more to that, and me running from the fear instead of to something, I'm going to chew on a little bit more. So thank you for calling that out. Love you, friend.
Love you.
I have an opportunity to bring our podcast full circle all the way back to our earliest episode where we did a little bit of girl math around an espresso machine.
Yes.
Katie's friend was thinking about buying. And I really don't like going out and getting coffee from chain restaurants or space, whatever. But I do like going to like little local ones and supporting. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't always have time to go to, I like going to ones I can walk to, but that takes more time. And like, it would be really nice to just be able to make one at home. Maybe I want an espresso machine. And so I started the research. I started looking at like Nespresso pods versus like a full, like people get real deep on this hobby. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to get like a good entry level machine. I'm going to learn about this. So many people I talked to were like, yes, it is so worth it to have one at home. And I was literally at the store about to buy the one I had picked out and they were out of stock. So I was like, I guess I'll just order it online. I walk in my house. I've got this little, so my father-in-law hand built us a bar table for all of our liquor, which we moved to the basement because we never drink liquor, but we still have the table. Yeah. It's just sitting there empty. And I was like, well, maybe it'd be a cute little espresso bar. And I walk in my house and I look at it and I think, maybe I should measure that real quick. And I measured it and it's too shallow for any espresso machines. Full stop. Will not fit an espresso machine on it. And I was like, okay, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to say no. And honestly, I feel a lot of peace having that. I'm just going to keep on supporting the little local places when I have the time. And we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yay. Okay, we love that. You've been chewing on that idea for like a long time.
I know. And if like officially just not going to do it. We have for anybody that doesn't know, I live in an 1800s historic house. So like extra space, not really our thing. We don't have it. Our kitchen is fairly small. We don't like having a whole bunch of stuff on our counters. So we're already a little picky about how many things we have. And so, yeah, I'm just not even messing with it anymore.
Extra space, don't know her.
Exactly.
Yay, that's cool.
What about you, Katie?
I have two. And one I just recapped for y'all because this was a tricky one for me. Like it felt like a really big decision. I had an opportunity presented to me that seemed good on paper and I couldn't get myself excited, and I tried to craft it to make sense, and it did make sense. And I even called like a couple people that I regard as coaches in my life and kind of worked through it with them, and they felt the same, that like everything seemed really good and it seemed like such a great opportunity. And I got so far as to like print out the offer and sign it. And then I couldn't get myself to send the email. And so I said no to an opportunity that seemed like exactly what I needed or would be wanting. And it's the first time in a long time that like maybe my gut was what I relied on, because usually my gut and logic line up, or like my gut leads me to a line of logic that makes a lot of sense. And I base decisions on that. But it was my first time I didn't have a bad feeling about it. I just couldn't get a good feeling about it. And so I said no, which is great. I mean, it led to something much better.
Yeah, it did.
And then my second one is a little silly, but your girl has been saying no to crumble cookies since December.
What? Oh my God, I'm so glad I can't believe I haven't thought to order you any in 2 months, 3 months.
And a lot of other things, a lot of other foods. Basically, I've said no to like habitual eating. But I was thinking about that earlier, that like I have not had crumble since like mid-December.
Do you still have your pink status since you ordered cookies for other people?
Well, I do. And because I ordered so much in 2024, my pink status is established through half of 2026.
Love that for you.
So I sure do. And I'm sure that the day will come that I have a crumble cookie. I unfollowed them on Instagram because it was just terrible seeing it there. But yeah, I have said no to crumble and no to a lot of other things, which has also resulted in my body saying no to 34 unnecessary pounds, which is delightful.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So it's good. There's been some really good understanding.
Do you feel better? Like, have you noticed like your endurance like picking up with that too? Or
yeah, for sure. Brett and I have
besides you falling down the stairs.
Yeah, besides falling down the stairs for sure. That would have hurt so much more with 34 extra pounds on me though.
Girl, for real. Like, for real.
Um,
Have you like gone to the grocery store? I always do that, like whenever it's like 10 pounds or like and
yeah,
like
well,
held the weight.
you know, I mean,
pounds.
like my child only weighs a little bit more than what I lost, so it's a pretty clear like yeah. But yeah, I definitely feel better. I definitely notice a difference like when I'm playing with Connor and stuff, which was part of why I wanted to do it because like I want to keep up with my kid. It's much easier. Brett is just, I don't know. He's lost almost 39 pounds and he's running like 5+ miles a day and stuff. So like he definitely notices a huge difference. But I do definitely feel like much, much, much better. And we've been very careful about like what we eat with like calories, but also more protein. So I'm not feeling full from like sugar and junk. I'm actually like fueling my body, which is nice. What a novel concept. All those things you're taught about
All
health.
those things that they say.
There's
Turns out
actually
going outside, getting exercise, drinking water, eating protein, it all does help my mental and physical health.
it's like so
Damn
good
it.
for you. But for real though, like Brett looks, I'm just excited because like I fit in some of my clothes better. I feel better. I'm happier when I look in the mirror. Brett is legitimately like you look at him and you're like, where did the rest of you go? Like it is a massive change. It's cool. It's fun. And much easier to do together, I will say.
Oh yeah.
Much easier.
I love that too. Are you like it's and wait till Connor's like riding bikes.
Yeah, he's on scooters and tricycles. So
It's gonna be all the
yeah.
parks you're gonna have in the sweet little suburb you're gonna live in.
Yeah. So okay, so
This
second
is in my future that I'm painting in my brain for you. It is.
happy little trees. Okay, so I want to know what's something that you've bought recently or what's in your Amazon cart, but like what have you bought recently that has like improved your life? And it doesn't have to be work related. We so frequently like go straight to that.
I have one of each. I have a work related one and non work related.
Okay,
And
let's
what's
hear it.
funny is that they're both people, not things.
Mm.
Which sounds bad now that I'm thinking about it. What I mean is,
Yeah, like we don't support human trafficking, but okay.
what I mean is, I hired an assistant
Ooh.
to just do some of my like more tedious tasks, keeping up with my calendar, keeping up with email, things like that. And I am just the relief of like having support is just so worth it. And they haven't even started yet. So that's great. The second thing is I wanted to take the kids on a summer vacation. I asked them what they want to do that wasn't like, we can't do 3 weeks in Europe. Ezra's still too young for me to really do a huge, like, and I'm not taking him to Mexico by myself.
No.
Don't feel comfortable doing over the sea stuff by myself with them.
Yeah.
And Shane can't go. So I was like, where do
Mm.
you guys want to go? And they both said Disney World. We want to go to Disney World. And I was like, okay, like I'll take a look. It's kind of pricey. But last time we went, I had a Disney trip planner. And so I just reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm flexible on dates, but this is the window of time I want to go. I'm flexible in price, but this is what I'd like to be under. And I'd like to be like not in a value resort. I want to be in like a nicer one.
Yeah.
What do you have for me? And she sent me back 2 options with 2 prices, and they were both substantially under my budget. And I said, done, book it for me. And she did. And I'm like,
Amazing.
that would have taken me like 7 days of research and like me hemming and hawing and like, oh, is this worth it? I don't know. And like so much freaking easier, man. And so shout out if you need a Disney trip planner, Jordan Lee, love you.
So where are you staying?
The Coronado.
Ooh, amazing.
Yeah, I'm super, super stoked. And it's just gonna be, like 5 days, 3 of them at the park, one just
So
at the
cool.
hotel in their cool pool and stuff. And like the kids, and I haven't really, we did the Grand Canyon, just the 3 of us. We did New York, just the 3 of us. Like they love doing stuff, just the 3 of us. And like Shane is great. We love having him along, but there's just something about like that really focused one-on-one, well, 1-on-2, I guess, time. That's just so special and so fun. So
that's so exciting.
yeah.
I love
Liz,
that.
what's yours?
I was thinking something simpler, like something's much smaller than that, but is the M&Ms in particular.
Yes.
I'm really glad that we spent the money on the freaking M&Ms, and it wasn't that expensive. Like it wasn't even that expensive. But the reason why I'm glad I bought them is because there were so many people rooting for me and her, like to have a great time, and like I just cannot wait to mail out some of those M&Ms because they're hopefully they won't melt, right? They melt in your mouth, not in your hand. But like, I'm really hoping that they don't melt and they make it, and that people like really appreciate them. And and so I'm really glad and I'm really glad that we did it. Cause like, how cool is that? And like the whole experience was awesome. So I'm really glad that's what I spent money on.
Love
Plus
that.
the whole Wicked thing. I regret $0 I spent on that entire night.
That's like such a good memory though. This is where we're at.
I love it though. I love this where we're at. I love y'all where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
I love you where we're at. I love you where we're going. I love you where you've been. It's my new song.
So I'm trying to think of one that's like recent. The question was sparked because back in like November, I bought this new book bag for work, and like,
oh yeah,
I don't like to buy things for myself, but my backpack was literally falling apart, and Brett was finally like, please just buy a new one. Like the straps are falling off. I would like had to hold it, and he was like, just buy a new backpack. So I found this one on Amazon. I loved it, and it came in, and I for real like love it so much. Like I love the way it opens at the top. There's insane amount of space. The pockets are perfect. It was like brilliantly designed. It's so great. And so I posted it on Facebook, and all these people commented of like how they either have one or they bought one because of the post. And I saw somebody post recently asking what bags people like for work. And so I said, oh, I'll tag you in my post. And because I tagged it, it brought it back to the top of people's feeds. And now like a bunch more people have bought it or are like ordering it. And so I just am like reminded of like, oh, I really like, it's such a small, every single day when I use this bag, I'm so happy. Like I just get so excited. It's cute and it's so functional and it's so great. So I really love it. And then I think probably also okay, I have two others now that I'm actually thinking about it. I bought yarn because one of my good friends got married and made some offhand comment about like how nice it is, like how he couldn't imagine anybody making, like he loves blankets. And he was like, I can't imagine somebody taking the time to like make a homemade blanket for somebody. Like that's crazy. And so I told him it would be late because there wasn't enough lead time, but I'm making him a blanket as like a delayed wedding gift.
Are you gonna make him one of your like baby blankets that's ridiculously oversized and it's like a man-child blanket that's like a king size bed? Please call it.
The one that's like, I'm gonna make this baby blanket a little bigger so it's comfortable for the mom while she breastfeeds. Like a 6'5" man could be fully cocooned in it.
Yeah.
Whoops. I just got carried away.
Twin size bed, like extra long.
It is so big. And then my other one is my new water cup that I love. It's pretty. It's black with leopard print, and it is spill proof and actually legit spill proof.
Ooh.
It has this little like twisty top thing at the top that locks it, and I like it for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's a straw cup, which I drink so much more water if I don't have to tilt my cup or take a lid off. So like it's just ease of access. But then also the straw is like attached to the lid, but then it's a stainless steel straw on the inside so that you don't have like all the plastics and stuff on your water, which is really nice, and it keeps stuff cold. I don't really drink cold water, but Brett has the same one in different color and it actually keeps it cold. But I really love it. It's like it's cute and it makes me happy every time I pick it up, and so I'm really glad that I spent money on it.
I love that.
Oh, that's you.
It's not a trip to Disney, but like it's pretty good.
But it'll stay with you. I want to just end with a quote that I saw today on Instagram that I'm like obsessed with. Okay, so it says, putting on my gorgeous chocolate brown wool coat and my good loafers just to go to CVS because every day is all there is. And then there's a quote from like a play. Interviewer, there's a certain aesthetic to the way you live. You once talked about using good silver every day. And the response is, well, every day is all there is.
Wow.
Currently obsessed. Every day is all there is.
Wait, I love that. I love that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You
got it in there because it is so good, but
so good. But I love you guys and thank you guys for listening.
Oh yeah,
you.
thanks y'all. Yeah, thanks y'all out there.
That was fun. Thanks for oh yeah. Boop, 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 boop.
Fuck you, Putin.